Hi, welcome back. I'm Vida Lowe, and this is Therapy by Vida. I am a licensed psychotherapist in California. And today I want to talk to you about something that comes across in my office all the time. And we all have a certain form of this, but I want to talk about it. How do you know if you're in a codependent relationship? And how do you build interdependence while in relationship? The first thing we're going to look for is poor boundaries. So someone in the relationship that just can't say no to the other partner, taking on their problems as their own. The next thing we look for is self-sacrifice. Do you not see certain friends that your partner doesn't like, or friends in general? Stop doing hobbies that you liked. Stop spending time outside the home. Those are things that we would watch out for as therapists as you are in our office. The third thing is fear of abandonment. So we notice when a partner would rather stay home. And there are different reasons for this. They don't want to be left, right? They think somehow if they're not around, their partner thinks about leaving them. We also see this in abusive relationships where the other partner rather just be at home with that partner to gauge their moods. Coming home sometimes to an abusive partner can feel obviously overwhelming, and they help their anxiety by being at home and watching how the partner changes moods or doesn't change moods, but really gauging their mood they're in. We also see this with addiction. It's easier to also see how much the person drinks, right? If there's a real issue there, and if their mood changes. Being out with friends and then driving home can cause these people deep anxiety. I've heard stomach aches can happen. They want to throw up in the car before they go inside the home. And again, these are extreme cases, but this is the spectrum that we're talking about. And these are one of the signs that we would definitely watch out for. The next thing that we notice is one person is always the dedicated caregiver. So they take on the partner's problems as their own. They can't gauge their problems, like my problems, from your problems. They mesh it all together and try to fix your problems without even really being able to fix my own problems. They think the mindset can be, well, I'd rather do that and they'll stay in a good mood. That's something I hear often. Or I'd rather do that than them get stressed out and start drinking. I don't want to be yelled at tonight. So if I do these simple tasks and get him in a better mood or her in a better mood, that won't happen. So they really take on all of that anxiety on themselves to try to fix the problem in the other person. The next thing we notice is a feeling of walking on eggshells. What is the mood of the partner? What does that feel like? I am not gonna do anything to upset my partner tonight. So they sacrifice all their feelings and thoughts for the other partner. The next thing we see is emotional reactivity. So what does this look like? My partner's in a bad mood. I'm in a bad mood. My partner's worried about something. I'm worried about something. Or the same thing, I should say. So it is really an enmeshment of feelings that goes on, and they cannot decipher what's, again, their own emotional state in comparison to their partner. They take on all of their partner's emotional needs and states. Okay, so here's the good part. If you feel like this is something that you want to work on in your relationship, we definitely have steps that can help you. Number one is reclaiming your identity. Who are you? Did you like to dance or play golf before this relationship or in the beginning of this relationship? seeing friends again or more often, having more alone time, reading, studying, going back to school, getting a degree. That's kind of a big one. But what makes you happy? What makes you tick? A lot of the people or couples I see, one person kind of just doesn't even know anymore. That's okay. You can figure it out. And if you do seek therapy, the therapist will absolutely help you figure out what makes you happy, what makes you feel centered, what makes you feel grounded in relationship to your partner. The next thing is practice assertiveness. When pulled to say yes, maybe even pausing right there. And do I really want to do this? Asserting yourself. No, you know what? I'm not going to do this time. I'm tired. I'm not going to do this time. I actually am going to go see a friend or go out to dinner or going to try a painting class. So even these small steps can help build interdependence and your own person. Again, so reclaiming that piece. Set and hold boundaries. This setting a boundary can be easy. Holding a boundary in time is the hard piece. So setting a boundary in a relationship can look like, hey, this is an example. Every Friday night, I am going to this art class that I've been really wanting to do. And let's say your partner comes up to you, or a golf class you really wanted to do. And your partner comes up to you and goes, oh, I really wanted to spend time tonight. I really wanted to do something special. Great. We could do it tomorrow night, or we can do it next week. But this is something that's really important to me, and I really want to do it. And I look forward to spending time with you really soon. It sounds harsh. It's not. It is actually good for both partners to have some space and hobbies or time on their own. And that is actually proven. The next thing I'm going to talk about is detaching with love emotionally. So what I talked about before is one partner always trying to fix the other person's emotions, right? Reactivity. So this is allowing space for the other person to grow. This sometimes is an aha moment for people when we can really come to the conclusion that if I'm not rescuing you, if I'm not doing things, if I'm trying to cover up your anger or your alcoholism, or your own codependence for me, I'm actually allowing my partner to grow as well. I'm growing because I'm going to get more strong and I'm going to grow myself as a person. And I'm allowing you to grow as a person, as my partner. So I think that's such a nice key way to look at this. The more I rescue you, the more I imagine your needs going on before you even know what your needs are going on, I'm not letting you grow in any capacity. I'm not allowing you to change. I'm not allowing you to notice your consequences, your natural consequences that happens. I'm not allowing you to change behavior. I'm stopping it all. So interesting to notice that piece and interesting to really let that sink in. I'm going to grow and I'm going to allow you to grow if I allow you to make your own mistakes and to clean up your mistakes and for you to feel your consequences yourself. The next thing we want to talk about is fostering reciprocity. So what does that mean? We're partners, right? You are a partnership. One person, and partnerships look different. One person can take on different roles and decisions, and the other person should be taking on different roles and decisions, or it's 50-50. And that's what you want. You want to be able to be in true partnership. Again, that doesn't mean someone is good at money, so they take care of that and you have a say and you watch what's going on, or one person's good at taking care of the household. That's great. But do you come together and talk about it, figure things out together as partners, even in those realms. That's really important to do, to not foster a codependent relationship, and makes both people feel more grounded in a relationship. So it's a really nice way for both people to feel strong, grounded, and can lean on a partner in a different way. There's a beautiful analogy that I love to use in couples therapy. And I think of this myself. So a wonderful relationship, there's a famous psychologist that said this, a wonderful relationship can look something like this. Two really big oak trees. Picture them side by side. The roots are separate, so they're big and grounded. This tree cannot be blown over. Each tree cannot be blown over. So just picture the roots just growing. Then big trunks, right? That's you as a person, all your hobbies, all your interests, your voice, your strength. And then the entire top of the tree with the branches. That's where we're touching with our partners, right? Right there. So the two trunks of the trees are here. The roots are beautiful and strong. They don't touch. But what does touch are the canopies. So that is really the love, respect, the caregiving to each other, the healthy caregiving, that one person to the other, allowing that person to grow constantly and allow me to grow constantly. It's a true, beautiful relationship that feels very respectful and kind. That's what we're aiming for. If you can wake up every morning and think of that analogy, we're going to start making some good headway. Happy to talk to anybody about this if you need any more help. If you are going through an abusive or you are with an alcoholic, I do suggest going to Al-Anon meetings. 12 steps are fabulous and can really help you with this. Seeking a therapist, a licensed therapist that can help you also. If you're in an abusive relationship, seek help. All of us are trained to be not judgmental. We want to protect. We want to help you grow. We want to help your partner grow. So I hope this was helpful. And I hope to see everyone soon. Therapy by Vida. And thanks so much for watching. See you next time.